Good afternoon. This is the online tutorial class on Unit 11, Assessing Long-Term Debt, Equities, and the Capital Structures. Now we look at the tutorial question number 1. How will passive and active capital structure change difference? And you will find that there will be the two approach of the management about their capital structure requirement. For the active one, and you will find that the capital structure will be changed no matter there is a need or not. That will be the manager take the initiative by themselves and to decide what should be the capital structure in the coming future, regardless whether the company has any capital budget required or not. And the opposite will be the passive one. The passive capital structure change will be based on the financial futures capital budgeting need of the company. That means when they plan for the coming future, and then they will prepare the capital budget, and if there is a need, then they will raise the concerning capital from the new project, and then they will, based on this requirement, to adjust their capital structures. Second question. Why is debt often referred to as leverage in finance? And you will find that if a company financed by debt, and that will magnify both the potential return and the risk of the company, and that will affect the equities holder of the company. And that's why this financial leverage will amplify the variation in both the earning per share and the return on equities. Third questions. Now, suppose the Papa Bell Industrial Equities is currently sold at $55 per share, with 4 million shares outstanding. If the firm also has 17,000 bonds outstanding, which are selling at 94% of par, what are the firm current capital structure weight? Now we need to work out the amount of the equities and the amount of the bond. Okay, and then based on that to work out the percentage each of that finance weight percentage. Okay, then looking at that, for the first one is work on the equities portion. Now equity portion, we have 4 million shares, and each at $55, and that will be the value. Okay, and the total that will be, including the bond, that will be 17,000 times 1,000 times the 95%, and then add up together, that will be the total capital of the company. And in proportion, equity will account for 93.23%. And then the other way is so simple. Using 1 minus this 93.23%, then you can work out the 66.77%, because there is just 2. Now that's why the remaining should be the debt portion. Or else you can work in this way. You work out the amount of the bond value and over the total capital value of the company. It also gives you a 6.77%. Okay, the fourth questions. And that will be the Soluition Industrial Equities, and selling at $27 per share, and yet have 2 million shares outstanding. The firm also had 50,000 bonds outstanding, and that is sold at 103% of par. If Soluition was considering an active change to their capital structure so that the firm would have a debt to equity ratio of 1.4, which type of the security would they need to sell to accomplish this, and how much they have to sell. Now, using the capital structure formula in the chapter 11, and the current capital structure weight will be worked out like that, similar to the previous questions. Now we will work out the current situation. That is the equity value, 2 million share times $27 per share, and over the total value of the firm, and that will be account for 51.18%. The other way, you need to work out the debt. You may use 1 minus 51.18, and that will give you 48.82%, or else you will work out the bond value, and 50,000 times $1,000 per each times the percentage 1.03, and that will be the bond value, and that will be account for 48.82. But now you will find that the question mentioned would like to have a new proportion in the debt to equity ratio, and that will be changed to 1.4. And that's mean, what does this mean? And you will find that if there is the debt to equity is equal to 1.4, we can convert it into this way, 1.4 over 1, right? Okay, that's why it's so simple. Debt will be equal to 1.4 and equity is equal to 1. Okay, because of that, then we can change the concerning value, and you will find that the proportion of the debt to equity will become 1.4 over 2.4. Okay, then the proportion will become 0.5833. The original one is this one, 0.4882. Okay, that's why the debt should be increased from 0.4882 to 0.5833. Okay, that's why in general that means it should be increased by so much, 0.0951. And because of that, we need to work out how much increase in the bond in order to replace the debt, replace the equities, and that means the bond amount will be increased, while the equity will be decreased. Okay, that's why we will make use of that to calculate, and finally, we can work out. That will be there were $1 sign more. Okay, that will be 10,033,050 new debt should be issued in order to repurchase the equities or reduce the equities amount. Okay, and you just times the total value of the company and the difference between that two, and that will be this one. Okay, then that will be the required amount of the debt should be increased in amount in order to repurchase the equities. Okay, next questions, and that will be related to Daddy Mac Industrial doesn't facing any tax. That means this company doesn't have any tax and has this company doesn't have any tax, and you will find that the whole company are being financed by equities, and you have 350 million in assets. That means the total value of the company, right? Okay, that's why the equity is worth $37 per share, and the book value of the equities is equal to the market value of the equities. And also, let's assume that the firm expects the value of the EBIT depends upon which state of the equities occur this year, with the possible value of earning before interest and tax and the associate possibilities shown as the below. Now, we look at this one, and by looking at this situation three different situations about the probability of the stage of the economic situation. Recessions around 25%, average 55%, booming is 20%. Okay, and then the outcome of the company, the earning before interest and tax is 5 million, 10 million, and 17 million. Okay, and then now the company consider change the capital structures. And that's mean originally it's 100% by equities, but now 20% will be debt. Okay, and then this debt will have a 8% interest rate. Okay, and then because of that, we need to work out how much this portion is related to the finance by debt. That means what will be the portion of amount of the debt accounted for, and also we need to work out what will be the possible interest that we need to pay to the bondholders. Okay, that's why originally, and you will find that the amount of this bond is 8%, and then the account for 20% of the total amount of the value. Okay, that's why if the company finance 20% by bond with 8% interest, it required to pay 5.6 million interest. Okay, and the number of the share will be reduced also, because originally that should be a fully financed by debt, financed by equities, but now it's changed, and because of that, the number of share will be changed, and that will be just have 7,567,568 share outstanding. Okay, because of that, and according to the information, there are three possible economic situations: recession, average, boom. Okay, then we look at this outcome. If the company finance by debt, and it will require to pay interest, and that will be the interest amount. No matter under what situation, you will pay the same amount, 5.6 million. Okay, what will be the EBIT? And that will be negative 60,000, 4,400,000, 11,400,000. Okay, because there is no tax saving or tax shelf, and that's why you no need to deduct any tax amount. Okay, finally that will be the same outcome. Okay, and then the earning per share, and you will find that for the recession period there was a negative 0.08, and average will be 0.58, and then boom, and that will be 1.51. Okay, and the question is asking to work out the standard deviation, and that's why we are required to work out the average of this EPS. Okay, and then we will work out this three, okay, situation EPS, and then add them up. Okay, because they account for different weighting. Okay, because of that, for the recession is account for 25%, and then for the average is 55%, and then for the boom is 20%, and because of that, the average will be 0.6 EPS. Okay. Okay, finally, and we can work out the standard deviation by making use of the EPS minus the average for each, and time their weighting and square it, and we can work out the standard deviation is 52.9%. It's quite high in nature. Okay, because you are being financed by the debt, and most likely you will amplify the EPS and also the return on equities, and because of that, the standard deviation percentage will be quite high also. That means that is easy deviate from the average. Okay, the last question, 16.14. Okay, if another company, GTD Industry, have a 21% tax rate, that means the company facing 21% tax rate, and have 100 million in assets, currently financed entirely by equities. Equity is worth $7 per share, and the book value of the equity is equal to market value of the equities. And also assume the company expect the value of the EBIT depend upon the stage of the economic occurred this year, with the possibility value of the EBIT and their associated probability are being shown as the following. Okay, that means that there are two only. Pessimistic, okay, and then that will be account for 45% or 0.45. Optimistic, that will be a 0.55, okay, or 55%. Okay, then the EBIT under pessimistic is 5 million only, but optimistic is 19 million. Okay, because of that, and the firm want to switch to a 40% debt capital structures, and determine that they will pay a 12% interest rate on the debt. Okay, and the question is asking too, what will be the break-even level of the earning before interest and tax? That means if the company change the capital structure to 40% being financed by debt, what will be the same, okay, earning before interest and tax? That means even the firm being financed by 40% of the debt, that will be the same as the beginning, that is completely financed by equity only. Okay, that's why we will make use of the break-even approach and work out the that means they will have the same EPS under the same under two different situations. Okay, then we will work out what will be the interest if we financed by the debt. Okay, and that is a 12% interest rate, okay, and 40%, and the total value of the firm. That means finally that will be 4.8 million per year, the interest expenses. Okay, and then the number of the share will be also reduced because that is not purely financed by equity only. Because of that, that will be reduced by 40%, and that will be just 60%. And each share is $7, and that's why the new capital structure will have 8,571,429 share number of share. Okay, but originally, what is the original amount? And you will find that that is completely financed by equities, and we divided by 7. That means the original number of share is 14,285,714. Okay, that means a great job of the number, right? Okay, this two figure is a great job. Okay, now we will make use of the equation to work it out, and that means both the EPS is the same. Under what? The EBIT, we want to work out this EBIT, how much it is. They will be the same, the earning per share. Okay, because of that, we'll substitute all that into the formula, and that means the amount we don't know is the earning before interest and tax, that amount. Okay, then for this one, because that is being financed partly by debt, that's why it are required to minus the interest. Okay, but still, this company have the tax saving that is at 21%, and it required to times 1 minus 21%, and over the number of the share, and then the old one, that means the original, that means we don't have any interest expenses, and that's why we'll make use of the EBIT times the tax rate. That means 1 minus 21%. Okay, over the number of the share originally that we have this 40,285,714. Okay, we solve the equation, and finally we will work out under at around 12 million the EBIT, and then that will give you the same outcome, the earning per share, and that will be no difference if in case the company in the coming year just generate this amount of profit. And then there is no difference whether you finance more, finance by 40% by debt or purely financed by the equities. Okay, that will be the approach to work out this break-even point. Okay, that's all for this unit. If you have any question, you may ask me through the chat room.